Well, good morning, everyone. What's left of this morning anyway? It's about 11:27 a.m. Eastern Time here, pushing the noon hour. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with your Southern Indiana weather video forecast today. It is a beautiful day outside. It's a bit cool, but we're going to warm up at least into the mid 50 this afternoon, and then the warmer temperatures will return. I promise you, it's sort of a brief setback. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Today's video update is sponsored by Metal Magic in Washington. You can contact Chad at 698-8555 for all of your paintless dent repair needs. Folks, they are PDR Nation certified, which, if you're not familiar with what that is, basically it's just a way of being able to ensure that you have a quality technician repairing your vehicle whenever you bring it to them. It is not just one side of the dent repair that's taken care of, it is the whole shebang. And they will do their best to absolutely restore it into the condition that it was before it was damaged by hail or shopping carts or whatever the case may be that caused your dent. They have that traveling hail team, but as you and I both know, you park in the Walmart parking lot for very long, eventually you'll be dinged by a cart or something. Folks, they can take good care of you with their paintless dent repair needs. Located across from the Radio Shack there in Washington, give them a call. They do a great job. All right, a gorgeous day shaping up for us. I mean, you can't beat this. You take a look at satellite, we've got a partly cloudy day with temperatures into the low to mid 40s here, area-wide now, still hanging on into the 30s into the northern part of the state, but we're going to warm up pretty nicely today. We can't beat that. At least there's no rain in the area. I mean, I think you can probably agree with me that we've had a little bit of rain, just a little bit in the past few days. In fact, most of us had a good area-wide 4 to 6 inches of rain over the past few days, really on Wednesday and Thursday. And thankfully, we didn't have as much of the severe weather threat as that we thought it was going to be. Thought it looked pretty bad. It looked pretty bad on the models, but we got saved, so to speak, by really that rain system that moved in the afternoon and basically just stabilized our air so that it became more of a flooding and heavy rain threat than it did more of a severe weather threat. That extra rain that we got in the afternoon is not something the models had picked up on. They had hinted us having a good period of being able to dry out, air destabilizing. And the weather models are not perfect, and they just didn't get it. And you know what? I'm thankful for it. We did end up having a tornado warning down around the Posey County area, and we had a few severe thunderstorm warnings along the Ohio River as well. But that was about it. All the rest of the night, it was basically just flood warnings, flood advisories, flash flood warnings, and of course, there's plenty of flooded roadways still to show for it across the area. So, unfortunately, I do have some bad news. I got some good news too, but the bad news is we've got more rain to come. I know that's not exactly what we need at this point in time, but unfortunately, it's going to come. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Good news on the side of this is it doesn't look nearly as much rain as what we had. The bad news is, of course, with our small streams and rivers still flooding out of their banks or slowly receding down. Any more rain that we get in the next couple of days is just not going to be a good thing with that. So keep that in mind. You may have to find more alternate routes coming up. We'll start off here really into the late Sunday night, overnight hours. Here we are really at about 10 p.m. or so here on Sunday night. You can see a low pressure system that's forming down to our south. Watch as I put this into motion. You can see that low pressure just moves right over us, and on the day on Monday we're going to end up with some fairly decent rainfall. It looks like in the order of a half inch or so around the area. So nothing too significant, and then of course that will finally work our way so that Tuesday it looks like we dry out and we have a little bit of chance for some showers on Tuesday, but it doesn't look overly aggressive. Let's time it out on future radar so that you can get an idea of what I'm seeing. It looks like it's absolutely a gorgeous dry day for us today. Sunday morning, absolutely no problems as well. We're going to go through much of the day on Sunday without any rain problems. Here we are by the time 8 o'clock hits, and we've got some rain still kind of moving in from the southwest now, but it's not hit us yet. By the time we go into, here's 11 o'clock, and then here's 2 on Monday morning. Now that's when you see that rain coming in. Looks like it's going to be more of an overnight threat for us, and then lasting into Monday, not money. I'm getting a little tongue twisted here. Here's 8 a.m. Eastern time on Monday morning. You can see plenty of rain around the area. 11 a.m. and then even by 2 in the afternoon. Yep, still raining. And as far as the model sees out right now on their high resolution NAM, by about 5 o'clock here on Monday, you still see rain in the area, and it looks like it does. Well, it looks like it will hang around until at least ending probably in the overnight hours on Monday night. So it's going to be a very rainy mess. If we just take a look at how much rain we could get up through 5 p.m. on Monday, which is as far as the high resolution NAM sees right now, it gives us the green is about 4/10 of an inch or so, all the way up to a half inch here in the blue shading. So a half inch or so, maybe up to an inch by the time you factor in the additional rain that this model doesn't see, because it just doesn't, the future radar just doesn't see out that far yet. And the high resolution model only sees out 60 hours, so it just doesn't have a chance to see fully out into the storm system yet. Maybe a half inch to inch in this would be the way I would think. So yeah, that could be bad news for already soggy ground when waters that are receding. The good news is I'm not seeing 5 or 6 more inches out of this, so we definitely don't need that. Temperature-wise, not bad over the next couple of days. It started out pretty cold this morning. High resolution model only thinks we get up to about 53 today with the additional sunshine that I think we're going to see. I think we're getting up to about 55. Maybe I'm a little too much on the optimistic side there. Going to be a pretty warm night tonight. Well, a little warmer than it was last night. Up to about 38 for your low tonight, down to, I should say. But then on Sunday, notice we warm back up to near the 60-degree mark again. So that's not bad. We'll take that. It stays very warm. This is what I was trying to point out. I was getting ahead of myself. It stays very warm by the time Monday morning when you wake up with those cloudy skies and with the rain in the area. You're only waking up to a 51-degree low. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all, but it is still below normal for our high temperatures, though. We just take a look at this and know this is a bit confusing. This is our MOS guidance model output statistics from the GFS model, and what you have here are your high and low temperatures across the coming days. I'll show you a better graphic in a second, but what I want to point out is this. Here's climatology for today. 66 is our normal high here in Huntingburg. 42 is our normal low. If we can just go discuss some of the other areas. Around the area here, Indianapolis, the normal is 61 and 39, Evansville 66 and 42 as well. So you get the idea that the mid-60s are where we should be temperature-wise. But if we take a look at the raw data from the GFS ensembles for the next 16 days, if 66 is our normal, we're still in a below normal pattern. 55, then 61, 59, 55, 60. A couple of days, 3 days here, we get normal to above normal. 4 days here, then it crashes back down. So you can see we're still kind of holding in fairly a little bit of a below normal pattern. This is, by the way, the same pattern that we experienced all winter long, where we would warm up briefly and then the pattern would come in there and then we would cool down and we'd hang out 10 or so degrees below normal, it seemed like, and then go back up and then go down for a significant good little bit of time. The pattern has not changed. What has changed is the season. So we're out of the winter season, we're into the spring season now. Days are getting longer, the sun angle is higher in the sky rather than being lower in the sky, so that allows us to warm up more. The same pattern is here, but because we're going progressively further into the spring season, that means the impact on it's getting less and less. But we're still going to run 10 degrees or so, at times even more, below normal. It's just that means 50s and low 60s would dominate our high rather than 60s and 70s like what we should have. So that's not bad, but again, keep in mind that is a below normal pattern, so we just don't feel the impacts of it as much here. Now, let me show you a little bit about the longer term here. I'm going to go back to this map. Let me put it into motion here and I'll stop on some things. Looks like next week could be a beautiful week and with dry in a lot of it. And we got a little weak cold front that's going to be moving through here about next Friday. This is about the 11th of April, Friday at 2 a.m. You see a weak cold front moving down through here. Pretty much a dry cold front. It doesn't have much of an impact with it. Then as you keep on going in here, what you notice is this particular storm system that's developing down here around the Texas Panhandle, Texas-Oklahoma Panhandle, and then watch very quickly as it moves up to us. Notice how it sort of blows up. Now keep in mind, this is April the 14th. That is a long way away. We're 28 hours away in this forecast model. That's a stinking long time, by the way. The 14th of April, I know you may not be able to see the calendar I'm pulling up here because it may be behind my webcam window down here, but the 14th of April is about a week and 2 days away still. So keep in mind, yeah, this is a long way away still, but it poses another very heavy rain threat. What about the potential for severe weather with this? We've got a very dynamic low right over us. It's very windy. I certainly wouldn't rule it out, but it's a little too early to be saying yes or no anyway on that point. But regardless, just within this, you can see this is some of these deeper brown shades. It starts at 2 inches of precipitation falling within this 6-hour time frame. So that's a lot of rain. We could be looking at another flooding rain type of a situation. So we will keep an eye on that one. If not for the possibility of severe weather, for another flooding event at least. Beyond that, we also have some additional really good chances at rain. Here's another front that moves in about the 20th of April, and you can see that it's a very powerful low pressure system with a cold front behind it. Again, we'll monitor that. Could this bring another severe weather chance or storm chance to us? It could. Anytime we have a low pressure that's that deep, we get a little bit concerned about it during the springtime. Again, nothing really jumps out at me on the map right now that says this is one to watch, other than the fact that it's a deep low pressure system, and it's still 384 hours away from us. So we got plenty of time, a couple of weeks here to work this out. But a couple of storm systems over the next couple of weeks that I'll be keeping my eye on. But the good news is, for the next 7 days at least, we don't see anything that is terribly impressive, and certainly not a 5 or 6 inch rain event. Just a little bit of other rain to get through. All right, let's take a look at your forecast. Let's go to southernindianaweather.com. We can get your 7-day forecast. Hover over here, click on 7-day, or you can even click on the button right there. It doesn't matter. Either one will take you to the same place. Sponsored by Malore & Sons here in Jasper. Going up to about 55 for your high today. Just an absolutely beautiful day. It's a little cool out there in the morning, so take your jacket with you. It's, with the winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour, it's gonna feel a little bit cooler than it has the past few days. But it's nice. Partly cloudy day. We may even see some of those clouds thin out a little bit to go mostly sunny later this afternoon. But hey, this isn't bad considering where we have been. It's going to be a pretty day for yard sales and any other things that you've got to do outside. So maybe go take a hike or do some fishing. It's going to be a gorgeous day for that. A little bit cool tonight, down to 39, but then we're back into the 60s tomorrow. Again, Sunday will be one of those days where it's absolutely gorgeous during the afternoon hours, but then it'll be later in the evening hours before that rain starts to move in. So probably by the time it hits dark and you're coming in for your house for the night and settling down for the night is before the rain's going to hit anyway. So that's not a bad thing. But it does look like we could have a good half inch to an inch worth of rain by the time Monday evening ends. So another flooding chance out of that with the already waterlogged streams that we have. We'll keep an eye on it. We might see a flood watch coming out for that. Only not so much because of the heavy rain threat with this, but because of the ground being already saturated would be the only reason I could see with that. Any rain right now is not a good thing after what we've had. We'll keep an eye on it. 57 for your high on Monday. A few thunderstorms possible with that. We're not looking at anything severe, just maybe a heavy rain threat with that. A little bit breezy also on Monday. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. 57 on Tuesday. Rain should pretty much come to an end on Tuesday morning. I think most of the day is going to stay dry under partly cloudy conditions. Just might be a little soggy out there with all the rain that we've had. So if you got plans outdoors on Tuesday, they look pretty good for you at this point. Wednesday and Thursday looking absolutely great with mostly sunny skies, upper 50s and then mid 60s return by Thursday. And then by Friday, a slight chance of showers. It's only at 20%, so not bad for your next Friday as well. It looks like pretty much a dry cold front moving through. And of course, as I've showed you, beyond next Friday, we cool down a little bit with that next cold front that moves in. Again, we go below normal once again, but again, it's that time of the year in the spring season where below normal for us means maybe the mid to upper 50s. So we'll take it. We're warming up slowly. Eventually, it's going to be time to start planting those spring plants. I wouldn't yet because it does look like we have some fairly cold nights, but over the next couple of weeks, that pattern should slowly start to warm up our overnight lows where we can get to that. I'm as anxious as the rest of you gardeners out there to get something planted in mine. I usually have my begonias out by this time, and not this year. It's probably going to be another week or two before I consider doing that. So keep that in mind. We're still in that below normal pattern, and if we keep our fingers crossed, maybe it'll break one of these days. All right, that is it for today's video, folks. We will have another one of these for you tomorrow with your southernindianaweather.com video and forecast. I'm Meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great Saturday, folks. Enjoy your day.